Hello, students and parents of WMC Virtual. I would like to say welcome to this recording. I am extremely sorry that it did not record well the first time we did this. There was a lot of chaos going on the very first day. We were welcoming all of the students in seat, and we were welcoming all of you at the same time, and some of you in the media center and some of you online. So I apologize that that did not work. I do have to say thank you so much for allowing a lot of grace already these first 3 days. I know that there has been a lot of you who can't hear because of the technology. I know that there's been a lot of you that can't see because of the technology, and I know that some teachers have muted themselves through some of the classes. So I appreciate your patience, and our teachers are not used to teaching this way with students in their classrooms and then students virtually. And so we knew that going into this. We talked about that even a month ago when we talked about what this would look like. And so it is just kind of learning. I talk to the teachers every day in the hallway, how's it going? And they said, oh, I forgot the virtual students. So I did say to the virtual students when they were in the media center the very first day is it's never intentional. It's never intentional to try to leave you out as students. It's never intentional to try to forget that you're online, but we really want to make sure that you guys know that you're extremely important to us. We really want you to learn in this environment, and we're so very thankful that you chose this option to learn by this trimester. So going trimester by trimester, each student gets to choose, and so this is for the very first trimester. So I have sent to all of you the WMC virtual addendum to the student handbook. What this is an extra layer of kind of expectations for you as a student to be able to get into the policies and procedures of this WMC virtual. And so it goes through the expectations of what the learning process will be. As I stated, it's not where we want it to be, but the board and the administration has approved for technology to be purchased. That technology is already purchased. It is in the building. It just needs to be set up. So we are working constantly, actually around the clock, to make sure that this technology is up to date, that our teachers have that in their classrooms, and that we will get a better and more quality virtual learning experience from here on out. So again, thank you for kind of dealing with what we've been given at this point, but that should be hopefully by early next week, the new technology. So up until now, we'll still kind of go in the next couple days, still do that. And then hopefully by Monday or Tuesday, we'll have the new technology, and you will be able to see clearer and more concise. So thank you again for being part of that. The expectations is that every student should have the necessary technology. I asked everybody in the very first meeting if everybody received their Chromebooks, received their in their regular books. That was all lined up in the media center with everyone's name on them. There is none there, so everybody should have what they need. Attendance will be taking. That is a requirement for all of our in-seat students and also our students who are going to be online virtually. So it is an expectation and a requirement that you as a student log in every hour. At the time that you're supposed to be in each person's class, you will go to Google Classroom. You will click on that class. So if you have Mrs. Tyink, for an example, you will click on her classroom, the Google Classroom, and in the left-hand corner will be the Google Meets for that class. So you will do that throughout every hour of your day. And that will be a live experience that you will get to sit in the classroom. So if you have not already done that, you will need to do that for every hour. I have actually just been in a classroom last hour for a teacher, and there was a student in there in this virtual experience, and it worked out very well. We were actually communicating back and forth, and she got to be in the live classroom. So attendance will be taken. All other expectations will be expected of you as that student. So everything in the handbook applies to you. So the way that you dress will be the same as it will for students, that you need to be clean, neat, respectable in what you're wearing. I know some people like to roll out of bed and sit there, but we all need to have respectable things on. Because you will be visually seen by your teacher and your classmates. So everybody needs to make sure that you're abiding by those things. Etiquette is making sure that you're in the right environment. So again, not waking up out of bed as an example and having your headboard in the background. You need to have a setting, whether that's at the kitchen table or at a desk or somewhere where you feel like is not distracting to others. Avoid using sarcasm or humor within like the chat rooms on the side. I would ask that you need to abide by what the teacher is stating. You may comment if it's towards the teacher, but not having private chat rooms on the side, making sure that you're visible. To think carefully about what you're writing down, because everyone can see that. And so another thing that you will need to do is to make sure that you are in communication with the teachers. I did say on the very first meeting time that you raise your hand on the Google Meets. There's a place that you can raise your hand as a question. Again, the teachers are all getting up to speed and used to. There's teachers that have been teaching for years and years and years, and they're not used to looking at a screen to see a student. And so it might take a couple minutes, but to make that you raise your hand and wait for the teacher to call on you. If not, just kind of set an appointment later with that teacher at their office hour times to make sure that you can communicate what you were trying to do and what actually happened. So that is something that you will have to do with the teachers. So we already talked about the hourly schedule. You will need to take breaks during when the bells ring, just like a student in class would, or when you were here previously. And lunches need to be eaten when lunches are given, and snacks in between classrooms. And so you kind of get what I'm talking about here. It has to be the same rules and regulations that a traditional in-seat class student would have. So I've already gone over the first week and second week, and hopefully we'll have the new technology here, but just remember that attendance is required. All the expectations that a student in seat would have, you have. I know when we learned in the spring, it looked very differently, and that's not the way that it is going to be held this time around. We will be giving grades for everyone in seat and WMC virtual, so you can expect to receive a grade. There will be no exceptions for anyone getting a credit or no credit. So this time around, we're doing all grades. Every expectation that a student has will be given. If you do end up having issues with technology, please feel free to email Mrs. Greenwich Guy. Her email is listed in the addendum. If you have other issues that you're having problems reaching the teachers, or during that hour there's an issue, you may call the office at that time. It will make sure that the teacher turns on their Google Classroom so that you can interact and be with the class if for some reason they accidentally forget. So those are all of the the overviews of what needs to happen. Again, the expectations, that's probably the most important part, that when a teacher assigns something that you are to have that done the same time that the classmates are done, and everything applies to you within that class setting. So there is should be recordings that have happened. If you end up missing something, they may have that to give you. Otherwise, if you have any other questions, please feel free to email me or call me. I greatly appreciate that you guys are choosing the option. I got a really nice email from a parent today stating how thankful that she is for her daughter being able to be in this live classroom and feeling safe all at the same time. So thanks again, and we will talk with you guys soon. Bye-bye.